Today I'm joined by Mesela Kope-Nhlapo, the CEO of ARIA. Welcome, Mesela. Please, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and where you come from?
I think that before I start there, I need to acknowledge the historic of the railway industry and the how it influenced music as well. And this is you, Masikela.
There's a train that comes from Namibia and Malawi. There's a train that comes from Zambia and Zimbabwe. There's a train that comes from Angola and Mozambique, from Lesotho, from Botswana, from Swaziland, from all the hinterlands of southern and central Africa. This train carries young and old African men who are conscripted to come and work on contract in the gold and mineral mines of Johannesburg and its surrounding metropoli. 16 hours or more a day for almost no pay. Deep down in the belly of the earth, when they are digging and drilling for that shiny, mighty, evasive stone, or when they dish that mishmash food into their iron plates with the iron shovel, or when they sit in their stinky, funky, filthy, flea-ridden barracks and hostels, they think about the loved ones they may never see again because they might already have been forcibly removed from where they last left them, or wantonly murdered in the dead of night by roving and marauding gangs of no particular.
I would like to stop there. We have a rich history that has influenced music, has influenced families, has influenced a number of people. And as a young Black woman, my age is 25 years. I stopped counting at 25. The rest is none of my business. I come from a township, Watema. I was raised by my mother, not a single mother, my mother. And I went to a township school. And then after matric, went on to tertiary education. I've always found myself in the engineering space, from wearing dirty overalls to being in high level type of meetings with ministers, with the president, and you realize that these people are just people just like you and me. And but what is important for me as a railroad woman is that to invite particularly the people that they suffer gender-based violence, not only women, but the LGBT plus community, and ensure that they find their spot in the mobility sector. The mobility sector and the rail sector is, particularly rail sector, is quite a complex, and we need people from all different communities to come together to find solutions together. And for me, and what I've been taught by my mother is that we need to, that cooperation, it needs to take place. And if we and the cooperation will start identifying what our strong points are and where we agree. But further, before you move to the negative parts, everybody will feel happy and positive energy inside to go into the negative ones. And you are most likely to find few points that one may disagree on, and based on the win-win type of approach. So I'm a mother of two kids. My daughter has become a mini me. So if you think I talk too much, you should meet my daughter. And I've got a son. I am not allowed by the family to mention their names. And yeah, I've got a mother who is 71 years old. Her name is Florence Matlodi Kope. She is a powerful woman who gave birth to this powerful woman. Okay. Firstly, then I got a email from Daily Maverick, and they say they want to recognize me as a trailblazer, and I was like, what? For me, names and position do not matter. What got me where I am today is through bum to chair, head down, do the work. And but as a trailblazer, taking the road less traveled is quite key. If you want to stand out, you cannot be like everybody else. And the critical factors in achieving sustainable and inclusive transportation. The sustainability side is that we have moved from the human-secular type of era into I mean, the SOEs that we have today in terms of technology, from coal, moving to diesel, moving to electric, and now that the sustainability part will come from hydrogen powered locomotives. So we are evolving. And it's all because of research and development that takes place. It's all about the creative people, the inclusivity, the diversity of the people in the railways, that we can be creative in our thinking. We can be inclusive in our thinking. I'm from Guatemala. So somebody will say, where's Guatemala? Okay, Guatemala is around the Springs area, but it's where my roots my roots come from. And the also, it's that inclusivity is actually an advantage. So coming from Guatemala, my advantage has always been I'm streetwise, and I can do anything and everything that I want to do. And most importantly, if you dare me that I cannot do something, then it's like you're pushing me towards that you say I cannot do. And it's important to recognize who you are, so that the people in the room can see who you are. And one of my many rules is that for women, when you go into boardrooms, do not make anyone tea. Their hands are not ribbons; they can make themselves tea, except for Uncle Jack van Merwe, because I think he deserves to have somebody serving him tea. Yeah, so that's for me, and that inclusivity of transportation coming from the work side. But the transportation that we currently have, it needs also to have a more from the passenger side, more inclusive a transport that is women friendly, that has security, that makes sure that the marginalized or people of this country are not intimidated or attacked on the trains. And it's also important that those that have disabilities that are accommodated in from the design side of a train, and but not also for the train, but looking into the possibility of careers for particularly for those that have disabilities, because there's a whole range of qualification and careers that one can follow into, and that is quite important for me to relay that to any women out there, LGTB, and it's that mixture of us that makes us stand out as South Africans, but not as South Africans, but as Africans first, and then as South Africans. But most importantly, the humanity in us comes first. You know, certain things, there are people that are lucky to find something that they're very good at a younger age. And for me, I found this passion by, I don't know, mistake or God's design. I met a company, Accent, and they are based in Italy, and they were offering solutions around technical solutions, engineering solutions coming into the railway sector. So I was a representative and for this company on the railway side, and I've never looked back. And I think that I finally have my spot. And I that thing that makes you wake up at 3 a.m. because your brain is not sleeping, is it has an idea that a chutzpah or the motivation that one has over and above that people expect you to do certain things. For me, it's like I do it for me. For the first time in my life, I don't feel like I'm in employment. I actually feel that I'm supposed to be here. It's a journey, and once you come into the railways, you never leave. So yeah, I came into this industry not knowing who the industry is, and I managed to thrive in it. And that also presents the God's plan, our ancestors, our God and our ancestors' plans for us to thrive in whatever we do in life. But we also have an obligation to prove, or rather not to prove, but to testify that God lives through making sure that we hold each other's hand, particularly those that come from disadvantaged backgrounds. I always make sure that those, I call them my people. I've got a child, I call them children as well. I've got a child that is a civil engineer. I've got a child that recently was admitted as an advocate. So those are things that I hide because I'm not doing it for anybody, but it's a relationship that I have with God that gives me this space. Don't ask for permission. Just if there's no chair on the table, bring a camp chair, or bring your own table, as some people do. But for a male-dominated industry, we can only change things from within. And for women like me, I don't see myself as Mesela that is doing things for herself. But it also means that representing other women, Black women, particularly Black women, that are not there yet, are not sure about themselves yet. So that's why I can't let things slip, because I represent not myself, but the entire women in the railway sector and beyond. So for me, it's important that we realize that where we are placed, is not by mistake, but to change to things, to change the landscape. And it's through that taking that power that you don't know that you have in your hands and harness it and find people, confident people that you would learn from, that will mentor you. And I've been fortunate in meeting such powerful women that are not intimidated by Mesela, and I'm not intimidated by them. So it's for me, it has been easier that way than focusing on the barriers. You have a barrier, but just tell yourself it's not a negative thing. You turn that into a positive thing, because once you get in there, you do the work, you make sure that you represent the entire female LTBG society, and make sure that women are recognized. Because for me, if I fail other women as well. And I think that those that are still men that will say, you see, we give them a chance, and they don't step up. So my position is more important than a trailblazer, but to bring women with me. Find your sweet spot. Find who you are. Because when you find who you are, you will not be intimidated by anyone, but you will also bring that diversity in and represent other women better, and then the chain continues. So for me, it's more of we are not overcoming something, we are building. We are builders, and women have always been builders of their society. We have always held things together, and I think that we need to position ourselves like that. We can't look at the barriers. Like I said, don't succumb to pressures. If you are in a room, be in the room. Don't make anyone tea or coffee. And because you are there, you deserve to be there. And God is using you for other purposes as well. As Africans, we are at that stage that we recognize who we are, and the need to be Africans, to not to be from Nigeria, Ghana, and this, but and for the transport sector from the African Union is to have that railway industry, a world-class rail industry that crisscrosses the continent to improve trade between ourselves and other African people on the continent. So that for me is number one. And it flows over to job creation and job sustainability. That's the futuristic what we need to look out to in the long run. We've got the youngest population on the continent, and I think that through research and development and standards that are fit for purpose for Africans, not standards that are fit for purpose for Americans, Europeans, the West and the East. We need to own who we are as Africans. And the features that I will have is the people of Africa making Africa work. Used to do, cartoons. I'm a lover of TV. And, there was a cartoon that there was a lady and she was very powerful and had her own type of tribe, and she would unleash the stick that would change things in a positive manner. And I think it was when she was saying it was in the name of Shira, and for me that in the name of women. So that leads to women claiming their space and not being afraid. And I will be Shira, the powerful woman that built a tribe of her own. My role model is my mother and all the powerful women that raised me. And I am who I am today because of my mother. And I've never seen my mother waiting for some man to provide for the family. She has always taken control, and we learned that from that with my sister. So it will be my grandmother, definitely my mother, a she hero, my aunts around me, the my heritage of coming from royalty, as ke mokopa, ke tau ya sekgwa, sekgwa sa metsi. So that for me, my tribe coming from royalty, being brave and being taken on difficult, not so easy assignment, but the most important thing is that my grandmother was brave, my mother is brave, and Mesela is brave, and my daughter is even worse. She is a very intelligent, brave woman. uh, I'll be God, maybe. um, you know, for me, it's not about a fictional, but also embracing that there is one principle in life. It doesn't matter where you come from, which religion, of which is love. And if I can be God, I could be God, and just spread love, and to teach people to be, you know, to be loved, and understand what God's love is, so that it can transfer to the next person, transfer to the next person, transfer, to build that chain of doing things, because we love what we do, we love who we are, we love the love that God has created and is still in place. Love is the universal language. For me, I'll be God, and I would be spreading love and giving people hope. And it defines who I am in the railway space. And it says, I am a railroad woman. I am an integral part, an essential part of the great machine that is called transportation. Because of me and my fellow railroad men and women, railways must be the backbone of the African economy. And I am a railroad woman. But in closing, I would like to, life is serious. Find light moments where you can be yourself, the child, the innocent child that you are. Life is too serious. Let's lighten the load. Let's make sure that whoever comes in our spaces, we give them that lightness. People think I'm playful. It's because it's who I am, and that makes who I'm unique with. But when I go on that stage, I understand precisely my God-given gift, my passion, and being authentic as well. It comes through.
Wow,